Okay. So just to brief the last few things about the previous class. So in the previous class, we looked into a radio button and yeah, how to create the radio button. We can use the input control and type is equal to radio. So when you will be using radio button is out of multiple options, you want to select only one. So these are like they are mutually exclusive. That means like you can select only one. If you want to create a button like that, you will be using this particular type as a radio in the input control. And let us say you want to have to provide four options. Okay, four options as a radio button options. Then you will have four input controls like this with the each type as a radio, and the name name you can think as the a variable name given to this control, and that is how the server side will know this control. Okay, whatever the data that comes into this selection, that value will be tied to this particular name. Okay, name or variable, you can treat it as a variable. That value is assigned and it is sent to the server. So if you want to create a page like this where there are three options, you will have three input controls. Type all of them is radio, and if they belong to the same option, means these values are related to only one variable. That variable is nothing called a name and variables are very synonymous, since in programming language you understand variable which holds a value. In case whatever the name attribute that you give, that is the name of the variable. So here where, this is the variable name, whatever the value that is selected. In this case now South America is selected. That particular value will be sent as the value of where variable. And if you whenever you select this particular content North America, value attribute is the one which will send the actual whatever the content of that value, that will be sent as the value of the variable. If you select North America, the query string will be formed with where is equal to 1. And there is one more attribute called checked. How you can use this? When initially you are rendering the page, if you want certain option to be pre-selected by default, then you can use the checked. When page is rendered, this particular button will be selected or checked. Okay. uh, for the source code, yesterday we saw that. Just I will show it again. The same thing has been coded. You can see here field set, paragraph, label, continents, and three inputs are there. All of them type is radio, and the name is given where, and the for different options the values are different. First one is 1, 2, 3, and the first one is having additional attribute called checked, so it will be by default it will be selected. How it looks like on the browser, we'll see that C colon and tables, forms, and radio button. This is how it will look like. This is the code which is responsible for this kind of a display. And next one is the checkbox. Similar to radio button, if you want to show multiple option, but here you can make a multiple selection. In case of a radio button, out of the options provided, you can select only one because they are mutually exclusive. In case of a checkboxes, you can have multiple values selected. Multiple values selected. Same input control you will use, type is equal to checkbox. If you say type is equal to checkbox, it will be converted into a checkbox. That particular box will be displayed. And similar to radio button, whatever the value attribute you have set, that value will be sent. And the variable name or the name attribute whatever the name you set, it should be same for all the options you want to bunch it together. Here is the example. This is how the page you want to display like this. I accept the software license, and after that there is a checkbox, yes or no. How you will do that? This is the label. You can see this label, and then we have input. Type is checkbox, name is accept. So if you say if you accept or not, the value will be sent according to that. And next one is where would you like to visit, and three options you want to give. Label, this first one is the label, and next three are the different options of a same variable. The name of the variable you are given as visit. So all input controls will have type as checkbox, name as visit, and values are different. Either value you can have a numeric value or a textual value, whichever way you want to process in the server, that is how you will send. First option, value is equal to Canada, second France, and third is Germany. In this particular case, they have selected Canada and Germany. The query string will be accept is equal to on, and visit is equal to Canada, and visit is equal to Germany. Because visit is a single variable and it has multiple values, it will be sent as a two sets of values separated by the ampersand. We'll see the code for this. This is the checkbox. This is how it will look like. Let me open the code. You can just right click on the browser and you can say view page source. This is another. Either you can open it as a HTML, either it as a open it as a notepad, or you can open it as in the browser itself. Here only thing is you will not be able to edit anything. This is only view. In case of a notepad, you can make changes. You can see here, first one is the label we have, which country you would like to visit. Then we have three check boxes, 1, 2, 3, and with instead of sending as a Canada, here I am sending it as 1, 2, 3. So whichever way you want to process in the server side, based on that you will send the values. Let me select this, and this. Let me do the submit just to see how the query looks like. Okay, even though we get the page error, you can see this is accept is equal to 1, and where is equal to 2, and where is equal to 3, because I have selected second and third. Let us say I remove this option. Okay, you can say that particular accept is now it is not there. Only where is equal to 2 and where is equal to 3. Now, next we will see very important controls. I told you this in the last class, button controls. You can create a different kinds of button. So far, what we have seen is a submit button. Input type is equal to submit. Most of the screens I included that submit button. What it will do is it creates a button that submits the form data to the server. What is your job? Whenever you click on that submit button, when you have input space type is equal to submit, you will see a button. So this example, this is nothing but the submit button. If you want to see the code here, this is the line which is responsible for making that button visible. Input space type is equal to submit. What is its job is, whatever the data is given by the user on the form, it will submit it. If I say submit, so you can see this is what the data it is submitting to the server. Okay, that is the submit button. Next one is the reset button. What reset button it will do? It clears the all the forms data. Like you have entered something, you want to provide a reset option where it will clear all the data that is present. Then you will use the reset button. We will see the example for that reset button. Okay, I will open the code. Open with notepad. I always prefer notepad. so that understanding becomes very easy, and coding, you can have a hands-on coding as well. It some tags head was not correct, even though it is not strictly, browser doesn't strictly follow these things. If there is anything wrong, it may not show you the error, but it will not have any disruption, because it is a lot of forgiving. Most of the browsers are forgiving, so all which are very very specific, which is required for the browser, only that things it will give us an error, others it will not show that particular functionality. In this example, rest of these things are don't worry about that. We if you remember earlier, for the demonstration purpose, we included one control which takes a text, takes password, which takes a text area, search, email, and this is a select list. So that is what is there. This is first one is the for the input text. This is for the password. Next is text area, text area, this text area, this one. Next one is we have search, this corresponds to this. Then I have one more email, type is equal to email, this is the one. And next I have a select, that is this particular drop down. And after that, you can see here I have one submit button. This is the submit button, and I have reset button. So we will see how you will create the reset button. You will say type is equal to reset, it will automatically create the reset button. Suppose you are entering some values here. Okay, I will just enter some values. Some values I am entering. If I say reset, then it will reset the whole thing. See, if I click on reset, it removes all the data from the whatever the controls that we have on the form. And whenever you want to reset the whole entries, like all the elements in that particular form, it will be reset to the blank value. Now if you try to submit, okay, you will say Canada. If you try to submit, what will happen? Definitely this will give a error, because there is no at the rate. So you can see this error is there. Let us say you don't want this data, you will click on the reset, it will clear off the all the data. So you can create the reset button. And next control is the input type is equal to button. So you are creating a the type itself is a button, where you can have more functionality if you want to add. Yesterday I said some approval or reject buttons you want to include. Other than just submit and reset, you can use type is equal to button. But in whenever you are using a button for submit and reset, already what is the action is clearly defined. When you say submit, when you click on that, what is the action? It will submit the form data to the server. And when you click on the reset, the action is already known, it will reset all the values. In case of a button, you have to define your own action. Okay, how you define your own action? So for that you have to use a some kind of a JavaScript. Creates a custom button. This button may require JavaScript for it to actually perform any action. So whatever the action you want to perform, let us say you want to add two values, so you will create a add button. When you click on that add button, you should have a JavaScript functionality which will add those two inputs and display somewhere. That action you have to provide. I will show you a screen with example. I don't have the JavaScript included yet. Now it is just for the display. I have added a rest of the things are same until submit. Whatever was the previous screen you saw, it is exactly the same. Only a new button has been added, and the text says click me. I will show the code for this. So you can see here, we'll directly go to the end. Rest of the controls are exactly the same. You can see this is the one. Input space type is equal to button. I want to create a button, and what value you want to give for that button, click me. So this value will be the value that will be displayed on the button. So this is how you can do. Right now there is no action involved it. Okay, this button doesn't have any action. It is not calling any JavaScript or anything. This particular button will not do anything. If I click on that, I will add some values here, and if I say click, no action is happening, means nothing is happening, because the click is not defined. You have to have an event for that click, then only you can do. For that you can use JavaScript, and you can have some kind of a action. Next one is we can have a image as a button. Okay, creates a custom submit button that uses an image for its display. So the image itself will be a button. How to do that? You will just say type is equal to image. It will create a button, but it is the whole, whatever the image, whatever the source you have given, that will become the button itself. The I will show you the code for that. Button image HTML. Now this particular, you can see, the minute I take the cursor over there, it gives me the change in the cursor for the button click. And this is also, you have to write some actions for that. By default there is nothing included. Whatever the action you want to take on the click of the button, you have to specify that particular action you have to specify. I will go to the rest of the form is exactly the same. If I go to the end, first one is the submit button. This is the submit button. Besides that, I have the next button. So next button, what I am giving, type is equal to image, and src is equal to the location where the image you want to display. This is the location from where it will get the image. And similar to the button that we saw, custom button, even this will not have any action. Okay, by default it is a submit. Okay, so by default it is submitting the values, and this would be exactly like the one before. Okay, okay. So actually it is submitting the values, and it is not validating. So if you want to have a certain kind of a action, if you don't want to submit that kind of a action, you can include for the image. So next one is the button. So now one way to create a button is these different options we have. We use input, and we can use the type either as a submit or a reset or a button itself to create the custom button, or we can have a image as a button. There is another control that is available, which is button itself. So it is not an input, it is a button. So, and this button control is used for the creating any kind of a button, including the submit button. Creates a custom button. The button element differs from input type is equal to button, in that you can completely customize what appears in the button. Using it, you can for instance include both image and text, or skip server side processing entirely by using the hyperlinks. You can turn the button into a submit button by using the type is equal to submit. So inside this, the if you for the button, if you use the attribute type is equal to submit, this would be exactly similar to input control having type is equal to submit. And this particular button is different from this because you can completely customize it. So if you want to include text, you want to include image, everything you can do. Unlike here, you have the image here. Just you can use the image. In this case, you can use the custom button, and we will see the code for that. This is the button element. Okay, I will show you the page first. Button element. So you can see I have used, there are two. Let us see the code and we'll understand what is both of those. So I'll go to the end of the form. First one is I have a input type is equal to submit. That is the one we already saw. Now this is the button. This is the new tag I'm going to use to create the button. And inside, this is the opening of the first button, and we have the closing tag for the button. Inside that, I am specifying a link. The first one has the link, and this link is pointing to email.html. Okay, and also I am specifying a image. So I need a some kind of a image. So I am using image HTML tag. Source I am providing src, and also I am giving some alternate value. If you know what is this alt attribute, if image is not able to load, it will show whatever the text you have specified here. Some text you have specified, that will be shown. And then this particular content, email, that content will be shown as the text on the button. And next one, next one is exactly similar to the first one. Only thing is, what we have done is, here type is equal to submit. This particular button will exactly work like this button, submit, and there is a image HTML tag, image, source is given, and alt, that is the alternate name when image is not loaded, and the text is exactly the same email. So in the first button, it is not a submit button, but it will take you to the another link. That link is specified as email.html, and the second button is it is a submit button. It has an image and the same text, but it is a submit button. This particular button will submit the form data to the server side. So we'll see how it is done. I will use some values, and I will click on that. If I click on that, it will go to email.html. If email.html is present, it will be shown. Otherwise, it will give an error. So okay, your file was not found because it is looking for that email.html. And the second one, so if I click here, so it goes as a submit. Okay, the second one is submitting it to the process.php. Process.php is not available, so it will give the same kind of error. So that is how you can have the your custom buttons using the button attribute. So this is what we have seen so far. Input type is equal to submit. You will see the button like this. Input type reset. You will see the button like this. This will submit the form data to the server. Reset will just on the client side, on the web application side, on the browser side only. It will reset all the data that are present entered by the user for the each of the control elements. This is input type is equal to button, the custom button, whatever the value selected, that will be shown here. This is the image button, input type is equal to image, and you will provide what is the source for this image. That image itself will be work as a button, and it is it will allow the clickable event. Next one, this is the first one is the button type submit. So you are creating a submit button, but it is using a a button control, not the input control. Type is equal to submit. You are telling what image you want to provide inside and what text you want to show inside, and this is the closing tag. Similarly, another button, this is the opening tag, closing tag. Inside this, you are giving a link. Okay, so link where email.html, href specify where it will point you, and again rest of the things is same. You are giving the what image should be shown here, what text should be shown here. And we have some specialized controls. One is the input type is equal to hidden. So if you want to have any kind of a input data that you want to hide, you don't want to display it, but you want to use it for some calculation on the client side only, you can use this particular kind of control. The next control is the input type is equal to file. So if you use a type is equal to file, if you want to upload any kind of a file to the server, you can use input type is equal to file. So this is how the looks on the web server side. Upload a travel photo, choose a file, choose file, no file chosen. Okay, once you click on this choose a file, it will allow you to select a particular file on the local system. Once you select that file and you say okay, then whatever the file is selected is displayed. First it will show no file chosen. Once you choose the file, then whatever the file is chosen, it will be displayed. How to do this? The form method is post. Okay, it doesn't matter what, whether it is a get or a post, so don't worry about this. Then you have a label, upload a travel photo, upload a travel photo, and below that you have type is equal to file, name is equal to photo. So this particular control will be created to upload a file, and name given for that is a photo. We'll see a code for that. Okay, same form I have used. At the end I have included the input type is equal to file and name is equal to photo. Let me load it on the browser. Input file.html. You can see here this particular code is coming from this part. First is input type is equal to submit, that is this one. Second one, excuse me, second one is choose file. So that this control is created by this particular code piece. Okay. What I will do is I will say choose, I will click on that. Okay, and by default it will allow, it will open the Windows Explorer, where you can navigate and you can select a particular file. I will say just some file I will select. Okay, the minute I say select, it will show which file is selected. And right now there is no, this is just on the client side, there is no server side. This resource will not be able to send that particular information to the server side. Even if I say submit, it will not be able to submit the data. Just I will click. You can see here the last one. This is the attribute that is being sent to the server. Photo is equal to name of the file, whatever the file is given. If there are any special characters, then the encoding will be used. URL encoding will be used for that. Next is number and range. Let us say you want to have input only numbers. Okay, and also you want to specify some kind of a range. Okay, those kind of things you can use, we can create using the number and the range. basically number will accept only the numbers. It will not accept any other values. And you can also specify what is the minimum number you want to accept, what is the maximum number. Those are the different attributes. And in case of a range, if you want to accept the data as a range, let's say you have a feedback about a certain thing, which is like 1 to 5. So you can set it as a range. We can read the input as a range. Typically, input values need be validated. Although server-side validation is required, optional client-side pre-validation is a good practice. So, whenever you are taking a data, it must be validated. One option is that we can validate it on the server side. Means we will send this data to the server. On the server, the process will run. It will validate whether it is correct or not, and it will send the response. Instead of doing that, if certain data which doesn't need to be sent to the server for validation, if it can be done on the client side, we can use such controls. If it is related to number and some kind of a figure, we can do it on the client side. And another way of doing that kind of a validation is using the JavaScript. These number and range controls are given in HTML5. That they do not use any JavaScript. Okay, internally, even though you don't write any JavaScript, that validation will happen according to the whatever the range you provide. The number and range controls added in the HTML file provide the way to input numeric values that eliminates the need for the JavaScript numeric validation. So if you don't use the number or the range, and if you are taking the input as a number, if you want to validate, then you need to have a JavaScript to check whether that is a entered value is a number or not. So this will avoid using the JavaScript. So this is the example of a number, and this is the example of a range. So you can see here we have a label, rate this photo, and some number is there. How to create this one? Label we can use for this, rate this photo. After that, break. So it will go to the next line. Input type is equal to number. So you have to remember, if you want to create a control which will take only the number input, you have to say type is equal to number. And also there are certain attributes that you can use which will give additional functionality. In this case, number, and I have minimum 1. If you try to enter any values less than 1, it will not allow. And if you try to enter any value more than 5, it will not allow. So you have to enter any number between 1 and 5. And name that is given to this controller is rate. This is what value will be sent. If you select 2, when you do the submit, then it will say rate is equal to 2. Next one is the range control. This is the range control, how it looks like. Suppose you want to measure the mood of a certain situation. You can have like a range. So it is not well defined. So if you want to have a range, then we have grumpy or ecstatic. So in between that, between grumpy and ecstatic, what value you want to give, you can set it as a range. So here grumpy, ecstatic, and then these are the just text content, and in between I have the input control for the range. So input space type is equal to range. When you say type is equal to range, automatically it provides a range bar. And also you can provide what is the minimum value and what is the maximum value. So here minimum value is 0 and maximum value is 10. And since it is a range, you can specify the step, in what steps it will go. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, because you are given the step as 1. So it will take in the step of 1, but the values has to be between 0 and 10. Name, just you are given the variable name as happiness. Okay, controls as they appear in the browser that doesn't support these input types. So if it doesn't support number and range, any browser, this is how you will look like. Okay, this is how it will show. Let us see a code for this. Okay, so you can see here I have this control is for the number and this control is for the range. I will show you how it will be seen on the browser. This is how it will look like. So I have removed all other controls. I have kept very few. First one is the form. I have field set and the legend details. So that is this is how you will see the details as a legend. Inside that I have a label rate this photo. You can see this is the label rate this photo, and it will take a input, that is a number. And after that I have a text grumpy that is shown here, and then I have a range. Minimum is 1, maximum is 5, step is 1, and I have taken the name as rate. Okay, so if you want to change this, you will say H rate, happiness rate, we will say, and then break. So it will give a break, and I have an input button here. So if I reload, this is how it will give. Let us say this particular value will take only between 1 and 5, right? Let us say I will try to give value as 0 and try to submit. So value must be greater than or equal to 1. So it is saying you cannot have 0 or less than that. It should be 1. Let us say I will try to give 6. Then it will say value must be less than equal to 5, because I have given the range as 1 to 5. So I will give the value as 3. And in this case, for the range will be always between these 1 and 5. So there is no way you can exceed that. Whatever the value you're going to select here, it is going to be one of those values between the minimum and the maximum. So I will select some value here and I will say submit. You can say rate is equal to 3 and H rate is equal to 4. So that is how you can have the numbers and the range controls in your form. Next one is the color. Suppose you want to read the color, what kind of a color that you want to have, then you can use the color control. In case of the color control, okay, here is the color control. Label background color, it shows background color. You will say type is equal to color. So you will read this particular control will read the color. So it will read in terms of a RBG or hexadecimal or HSL, whichever way you can choose. It will read it in that particular values it will read. Name, that is given back. So whatever color you are going to select, that will be sent as the value to the server as a variable back. We'll see the code for this particular one. Okay, let me load the page. How you can read the color.html. Okay, this is the code. You can see I have a legend, and after that label background color, and input type is equal to color name back. That is what is this particular input control is. And at the end I have a submit button. So let me see what happens if I click on that color. So I will click on the color. So it will show me a color palette where you can select whatever the values you want. Either you can directly enter it here, or you can select from this palette. And here you can see it is RGB values, or if you want to change it to HSL, okay, you can do HSL. Then if you want to enter it as a hexadecimal value, you can do that way. So whichever way you want to give the values, you can give. So let us, for example, I will give all the values as 0, all the values as 0, and I will say submit. So all the values 0 means this is for the hash, back is equal to hash, 23, and you can see RGB all are 0. So which represents the black color. Or if you want to change the color, let us say you want to have 255. Okay, 255, the max values. What color you are seeing? It is a white color. It is nothing but the white color. And if I say submit, you can see #23 FF. There are three. This is 8-bit red color FF, and next one is the G green and the blue. So it will send as a FFF, which is white, and 0000 is a black color. That's a representation. Okay, in the next class, we will look into the date and time. That is also a very useful control that we have. Using the date and time control, you can insert a lot of the calendar-like information in the your form.